Hi. So to set the record straight, there is a lot of thought processes surrounding the Matrix. The Matrix, when we say a prison planet, has to do with you do not get out or wake up consciously to the realization of anything having to do with the reality of life if it's not based surrounding truth. So, in any term of a type of means of perceiving life having to do with literally, it is literal. We do not free our minds without truth. So, in any type of means of describing it, it comes from our perception. In order to free yourself in any light of any power, knowledge has to be truthful. And if not, we stay in a type of stuckness at whatever level we have not grown to accept truth being truth. So, in that regard, figuratively, that means that we are in a prison within our minds. That also deals Gnostically with the teachings of within, also without, meaning with means together as combined. Within you in perception is the only way to perceive with you inside yourself to look outside with you in here with your outside environment. So therefore, prison planet, as it can be looked at as a game, but the reality is when you have reality on earth where people can shoot and kill people, real grief, real loss, real hurt, real emotions, real situations that cause us, if you break your leg, whatever game that we think that the Matrix is, the reality is this is not a game. We can look at it once we rise in knowledge to see it for what it is from that perspective. But then you have a lot of people born at different times, different ancient beings. Some of us, like me, the most ancient, to be able that I woke up and I saw with my own two eyes flies in my apartment that were coming through my portal energetically, and then it extended in my home, in my apartment, literally, and would fly around into the naked eye, disappear, and then out the window in my kitchen, a whole bunch of them was around my stove, and I brushed them. Shoo, fly, don't bother me, and they disappeared in the windowsill outside in the environment to my naked eye. So that happened gradualistically when I woke up. So I'm seeing a lot of phenomenal stuff that cannot be fundamentally from an earth perspective that is fantastically surreal explained, other than it's because of me online and teaching more about the Matrix as a means of forgiveness for us to learn to love. And the way in is to accept truth and to abide by it, and then you increase your vibration literally as an auric shell that with Kirlian photography, with Kirlian photography, that you can see the aura color. And if we have chakra centers tied into our organs, right? And people are throwing thoughts, and that's real. When you have people in the subconscious mind that are spirits that you don't know and you have an advantage. Until when I was in isolation, why was they watching me? Why were they watching me? Who am I that's just a mere mortal that I'm being bombarded and subtly in my thoughts? It's infiltrating thoughts throughout my whole life that they thought I needed medication for tangibly touching the brain. No, the soul is beyond the physical body. As I told them, my son, blessed son, I'm still, missing, but not because I talked to him in here. His body was cremated. So we live beyond our vessels. So anyone messing around with the conscious mind to infiltrate our thoughts and mock me when I speak, energetically I can pick it up. So this is very serious. If I had to beat my face and I thought the body's a temple of the Most High, and I wake up with all these different tones that every time I speak, they're giving me a tight throat, because 7D is, as Dr. Carl Jung said, instant manifestation of thoughts that I still govern. If I don't do that, whether they know it or not, the vastness of my mind means they can't read my thoughts. That was illegal, meaning that you can't read people's thoughts to be able to know what they're thinking, to maneuver them, and they started doing that. That was an old law we passed. So me being online, giving a lot more information than what everybody may presume from Gnostic teachings, that some of that was also, if it's true, yes, it's true. And if you have any opinions behind it, be very careful. You still have to be discerning about what you view, what's what, because I'm speaking to everybody from my soul. So only truth makes us free. And that freedom is to access more of you that you would know off the rip, not to listen by hearsay or opinions, because that's what gets us all caught up in how we think and feel about things. So the prison planet would mean Earth is 120 Earth years, and when you're born, you die. And people do die from very tragic means. That's not a game. That's not a dream. That's real grief, real pain, real hurt, real broken bones, real means of suffering. And so I don't want to stutter, but I don't say broken, but that's somebody's name. So I'm able to pick up off the rip intuitively that life, we can, when we graduate and we have lived life and we're chosen, as Tom is indicating, that we are, basically looking at it from our own viewpoints at the leisure of what we feel comfortable with. But the truth is, 120 Earth years, nobody lives past 65 as a common mortality rate. And if we don't die and energy can't die, then why do we think we do die? With all these NDE near-death experiences of people giving accounts that's now an influx all over, we do feel pain. This is not a game. Those who are immortal, they would know they are immortal by them knowing intuitively their own self. A lot of the beings I post on my page, they are absolutely chosen, whether white skin or not, because I keep being told, well, your mother's white, right? But those would be prejudiced motherfuckers I'm tapped into that thought for a long time as Caucasians. They're telling me to go outside and start yelling because they want me to get killed, and go say that outside because they're insinuating that Caucasians are gonna kill me. So I'm filling you all in right now that they don't realize if they can't make a planet, and all these horror stories and all these Evil Dead Burn and all these stories about their lives and From on MGM and Interstellar and no, we're not trying to get killed by people who are trying to leave apocalyptic and the knowing apocalyptic. They're expecting events to happen of telling me to go outside and tell that to whites, so I gotta walk in fear because whites can't make a planet. Fundamentally, whites can't make a planet and then kill me in 7D, and they have no melanin like that. This is not a prejudice run. Nature is the boss. That's me. I woke up to tell them who I am. I'm in shock myself, to be quite honest. So that's why they have a movie about disclosure of them trying to tap into me and making me a threat. That's real time. That's real time alignment that describes me. So I don't know why anybody would not, listen to what I'm saying to God. Like my mother told me, half white, Texas, a grandfather, right, that went to, in the 1940s, World War II almost, had a station, the Americans in Trinidad, a base over there. And that's how my grandfather met my grandmother and made my mother. So all this talk about whites and all this shit, that's what they telling me in here. You go outside and tell that out there, and I already know who they are. Calling their first names downtown Brooklyn yesterday. I'm like, listen, first names, okay, whoever it is, and sometimes I don't use first names, but that's to show them, not to show off. If I know, checkmate, right, black and white, if I know what you're thinking, then you can't hurt me. Let's just surmise it all the way. If I know what's in your thoughts and you keep challenging me to try to make me frustrated. Last night they told me I can't sleep. Well, we're gonna harass you. You can't sleep. Oh, hell no. I went to sleep like a baby. I don't go to sleep as in a, fading into the dream state of easing. And I go right to sleep, like out like a light bulb. So from that time, why were they watching me? What information did they have about me? What information did they have about me that made me so significant that on my ship when my son passed away, they were on the ship and told me my son was getting stabbed up in here for about a year, 2 years. Well, a year and a half. Well, we are, right, that was Caucasians that copied us and was on my ship docked above the planet. Mothership, Mother Nature, not fathership. No Father Nature. We don't hear about Father anything. We hear about Mother Nature. mothership that houses a bunch of other ships. They infiltrated on my ship by copying us. That's what happened. So my son was supposed to be on that ship, and they kept telling me, well, that was not your son, because I'm reviewing since I woke up in here to them that was not my child. When you dig a hold on somebody's life to hold up the truth, once I woke up, I started telling them in here, well, you all thought that was clean? Your son is getting stabbed! They were telling me that in here, reporting to me. And I could see it in the shadows of my room, and they're mocking me. I told them cursed. They seen enough magic that they should never challenge me at all. I am able to read people's minds. Disclosure is about Ebony Mavis Buckley. Born September 16th, the 9 and the 1 and the 6 is 9, 16. Turn it this way. That is the percentage sign of 9 and 6. 6. My numbers and my birth numbers are 6 and 9. 9 and 6. Significant because 1 and 6 is 7. Starting the 7 heavens. I'm a female Messiah. I am a female Jesus. I am a female anointed one. And I woke up to realize all my memories of who I am, they kept trying to kill us because they want power, like in the movies with Indiana Jones about them, I want more, and a fucking head exploded. You understand what I'm saying? Right, what is the movie called? They keep asking me questions to determine my memories. They take guns because I can feel them blowing on my face in here. That shows I'm God. If they can use me, I said I'm the air you breathe. How can you be invisible and I can feel them blowing on my face? That does not mean I'm God. It does if I'm in your heads. No one here invisible could ever say that we did not witness Ebony wake up. Why would they care? Why would that not off the rip in deductive reasoning make me God? Why would they care? Why would they care if I'm a mere mortal? If you're God, they told me, save your son. In other words, I could see that they were stabbing him up and it was not my son. When we leave our vessels, we have our own little body. When we give up the ghost, it's similar. That's why I told you all we can see ghosts out there. Because the Most High walking and talking with me was educating me as a male within me. When I got activated, it made me a gatekeeper of the keys he told me to hell that I govern. I'm the creator, a female. The blackness is my conscious womb. Like here, men cannot procreate like women, making women God, Mother Nature, me. No shitting. So they can't tell me, well, no, you're not mother. Why say mother? Why not just say God? Why Mother Nature? They cannot dispel it, argue it, debate it. I'm God in a little vessel, consciousness that this could die if need be. Cremation, I tell them. My son got cremated. How dare them tell me he went to my ship and I woke up and they thought they were stabbing him up? What? If you're God, Ebony, save your son! That's why whites are gonna die. The prejudiced ones.